Welcome to Untold History, the space where we explore the secrets that shaped the world. In this 8th chapter of our Eternal Rome series, we will travel to the heart of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, one of the most fascinating and controversial in the history of the Roman Empire. From the excesses of Caligula to the fall of Nero, this dynasty offers us a mixture of glory and decadence, of monumental achievements and absolute chaos. How could such a large empire survive the folly of its own rulers? Join us as we unravel the mysteries of this turbulent era. After Augustus' death in 14, his stepson Tiberius ascended the throne as the second emperor of Rome. Although his rule began with promises of continuity and stability, Tiberius soon showed a dark side. His growing distrust of the Senate and palace intrigues marked his reign. He was especially famous for his repressive measures against those he considered enemies of the state, establishing a climate of fear among the Roman elite. Eventually, Tiberius retreated to the island of Capri, leaving control of the empire in the hands of his ministers, especially the sinister Sejanus, commander of the Praetorian Guard. Sejanus took advantage of this position to consolidate his power, orchestrating plots and eliminating opponents. However, his inordinate ambition led to his fall from grace, and Tiberius ordered his execution in 31. With the death of Tiberius in 37, Gaius Julius Caesar Germanicus, better known as Caligula, seized power. At first, his promotion was greeted with enthusiasm, especially because of the memory of his father, Germanicus, a general much loved by the people. However, their erratic behavior soon revealed the fragility of the imperial system. Caligula went down in history as a symbol of madness and excess. Among his most extravagant actions are the construction of luxurious palace ships, the creation of spectacular games, and, according to some sources, the appointment of his horse Incitatus as consul. Caligula also proved to be a ruthless leader. He tolerated no opposition and ordered the execution of Roman senators and citizens on mere suspicion. His reign of terror culminated in his assassination in 41 at the hands of members of his own Praetorian Guard, who plotted to end his rule. After Caligula's assassination, the Senate attempted to restore the Republic, but the soldiers of the Praetorian Guard proclaimed Caligula's uncle Claudius emperor. Claudius was considered by many to be a weak man due to his stuttering and health problems. Yet, against all odds, he proved to be an effective administrator and a pragmatic leader. During his reign, Claudius significantly expanded the empire, annexing the province of Britain after a successful military campaign. It also undertook major infrastructure projects, such as the construction of new aqueducts, the improvement of ports, and the reorganization of the judicial system. Under his rule, Rome experienced a period of relative stability. However, Claudio's personal life was marked by intrigues and tragedies. His marriages, especially the last to Agrippina the Younger, placed him in a vulnerable position. Agrippina conspired to place her son Nero, the fruit of a previous marriage, on the throne. In 54, Claudius died, probably poisoned by Agrippina, allowing Nero's rise to power. Nero, the last emperor of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, is one of the most controversial figures in Roman history. His reign began under the influence of his mother Agrippina, the philosopher Seneca, and the Praetorian prefect Burrus. In this initial stage, known as the Golden Quinquennium, Nero implemented moderate policies and reforms that benefited the people. However, his desire for independence and absolute power led him to get rid of his advisors and eliminate his own mother in 59. The Great Fire of Rome in 64 marked a turning point in his reign. Although some historians suggest that Nero was not involved, accusations that he himself had set the fire to clear land for the construction of his lavish palace, the Domus Aurea, persisted. The Domus Aurea, with its opulent design and architectural innovations, became a symbol of the emperor's excesses. In response to the fire, Nero waged persecution against Christians, whom he blamed for the disaster. The atrocities committed during this persecution, such as the executions in the Circus Maximus, left an indelible mark on the history of early Christianity. As his reign progressed, Nero immersed himself in a world of artistic spectacles, organizing concerts and competitions where he himself participated. This focus on entertainment, combined with his disinterest in political affairs, led to discontent among the legions and the Senate. In 68, after a series of revolts and the betrayal of his allies, Nero committed suicide, ending the Julio-Claudian dynasty. Despite scandals and excesses, the Julio-Claudian dynasty left a significant impact on the history of Rome. Augustus had laid the foundations of the empire, and his successors, despite their flaws, consolidated and expanded these structures. Claudius, in particular, stood out for his administrative and territorial contributions. Culturally, this period witnessed great advances in architecture, art, and literature. Nero, despite his defects, promoted the arts and left constructions such as the Domus Aurea, which influenced later Roman architecture. The dynasty also exposed the weaknesses of the imperial system, especially the concentration of power in a single person, which led to instability during the reigns of less competent leaders. The Colosseum, whose construction began shortly after Nero's death, stood as a symbol of Rome's ability to overcome crises and move forward. This monumental amphitheater, built by the emperors of the Flavian dynasty, became an emblem of Rome's power and endurance. The Julio-Claudian dynasty was an age of contrasts, of greatness and decadence, of achievements and scandals. These emperors, with their virtues and flaws, shaped the history of Rome and left a lasting impact on Western culture. How did Rome overcome this tumultuous period to enter a new era of stability? Join us for the next chapter to explore the reign of the 5 good emperors.